Hey y'all, this is Coasters and Travels, and this is my list for the top roller coasters at SeaWorld Orlando. SeaWorld Orlando has a total of 7 coasters, with an 8th coaster coming in 2024. Let's get started. At number 7 is Super Grover Boxcar Derby. This is at the bottom of the list mainly because it's a kiddie coaster and it's the least thrilling of all the roller coasters. It kind of deserves to be at the bottom. It's a great roller coaster for kids. It's a slightly better roller coaster than Air Grover at Busch Gardens, but nonetheless, it's number 7. Number 6 is Journey to Atlantis. It's not as thrilling as the other rides, but it's really not supposed to be. You have the first half where you're traveling to the city of Atlantis and it's nice and slow, and then the second half where you take the actual drop. And I just want to note that drop feels a lot steeper than it looks. And then you have that little dip. Anybody rode this knows exactly what I'm talking about. That little dip will get you the most wet throughout the entire ride. It's very deceitful. You then climb a lift hill and then you go through the actual roller coaster part, which is like maybe a couple of 100 feet into another splash, and then the ride is over. So it does a lot of things. My only gripe about Journey to Atlantis now is how it was when it first opened. The effects was much better, way better. You actually had water effects where you can see the water skipping from side to side. It was very cool. So yeah, they really neutered this ride. But for those who never rode Journey to Atlantis, in my opinion, it's still a great ride. You know, it's still fun. Had you been there for the original effects, you'll be disappointed too. Number 5 is Icebreaker. Icebreaker is a roller coaster with identity problems. It doesn't know if it wants to be a thrill coaster or a family coaster, especially with the issues with the comfort collars. Fortunately, the comfort collars are gone and anybody 42 inches and over can ride this, and it's much better without it. I enjoy the quadruple launch and I like the little pop of ejector you get from the last 2 launches. The layout overall is pretty short, but I think it's pretty fun, you know, not too bad, but not too thrilling either. It's like right there in between. Number 4 is Kraken. Kraken came to SeaWorld in the year 2000 and it was a great thrill coaster when it first opened. It's still great, but it's about just as rough as Kumba. It's not as rough, but it's definitely getting there. It's still a great looping coaster. That second loop is one of my favorite versions of the ride, and all in all, Kraken is a good time. Fun fact, I was 1 day late when they closed the VR version of Kraken for good. Ain't that something? Number 3 is Manta. Now this is a roller coaster I don't hear much, but Manta is a pretty damn good roller coaster, pretty intense too. It wasn't until I rode the back row for the first time I realized, oh my goodness, this ride definitely has some forces, and I'm not just talking about the presser loop. Speaking of the presser loop, oh boy, your whole body is crushed throughout that sequence, and while the rest of the ride is nice and graceful, those swoops going down and going up to the next inversion, it has some pretty nice forces people don't talk about. Manta is a very solid ride. Not too repeatable just because of how long you be in that flying position and how slow they are with the ride ops, but Manta is definitely worth the number 3 ranking. Number 2 is Pipeline. I think this is a roller coaster that surprised everybody. When news came out that SeaWorld was the park getting a surf coaster, we all thought that, especially after looking at the layout, we thought this was going to be a dud. Man, how wrong we were. Pipeline is freaking amazing. It has 5 airtime moments, and the first time you feel that airtime is crazy. Yeah, it's a very unique experience, something you probably never have experienced before. At least for me, I never had an issue with the vest restraints. You know, Pipeline goes to show, man, don't judge a book by its cover. It's definitely a one-of-a-kind experience. Number 1 is Mako. Mako is the star ride of SeaWorld Orlando. They have some really damn good sustained airtime, especially that first camelback. Oh my goodness. The first half of Mako is like an airtime buffet. After that second camelback is back-to-back airtime hills. It's very nice. The second half, not many people like, but I like it. You know, you still got that one airtime hill and then those really banked turns. I think it's pretty cool. It's very different from other B&M hyper layouts. And the great thing about Mako is a very repeatable ride. The ride ops are great. You can go in there back to back to back to back to back. You can ride this all day and not be bored. All in all, Mako is a fantastic ride and the number 1 roller coaster at SeaWorld Orlando. And this is my list for the top roller coasters at SeaWorld Orlando. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you at the next one. Take care.